So I was supposed to be at the hospital at, I didn't think I was gonna be here this long, but at 2:30,
Mhm.
I have to, the baby is ready to be discharged.
Okay.
And
Court is calling 2024 CR 009739 State versus Catherine Grabs. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Valerie for the state.
Lindsay Shaw for Ms. Grabs.
And are you Ms. Grabs?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Off the record for a moment. In this case, is there any restitution?
No, Judge.
Okay.
The store received the items back.
All right. Thank you. We're back on the record. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, excuse me. Deputy Laura, the lady in the check shirt, if you could take her out, she continues to speak to people in the box. All right. The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Grabs, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes.
Ms. Grabs, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with theft of property, 2,500, 2 or more previous convictions as a state jail felony?
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered the plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Grabs, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 20 days in the Bexar County Jail. Under 1244, there's a $500 fine and no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motion?
No, Your Honor.
I'm assuming that outside the agreement, the defense is requesting that the defendant serve the 20 days request of Bexar County Jail on GPS. Is that
Yes,
correct?
Judge, and that's what we had worked out with the state. I can elaborate on that if the court so wishes.
Well, outside the agreement, it appears that both parties are asking that you obtain GPS and that you serve 40 days on the GPS monitor as opposed to being in the Bexar County Jail for 20 days. No contact with HEB stores, partial ELM, and allowed to work at your current employment. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plea?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
State offers states exhibit number 1 in attachment.
No objection.
All right, did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. Let's go off the record for a moment. All right, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 009739. State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we have a motion to amend the indictment and regarding the Brazos County theft with the cause number starting with 1-4, we would amend the date of conviction to May 4th, 2015.
All right, any objection?
No, ma'am.
All right, and Ms. Grabs, do you understand that's a substantive change to the indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
And that your attorney would have 10 days to prepare for trial with that change? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you have any objection to continuing with the plea?
No, ma'am.
All right, then the court will grant the state's motion without objection and review state's exhibits 1 and attachments for sufficiency. All right, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. All right, with regards to the sentencing.
Yes, Judge. Oh, I'm sorry.
no. I will give you two choices. One, as previously stated, I found that there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I find you guilty. One, if both parties agree to do GPS as opposed to the 20 days in the Bexar County Jail, what I can tell you, the 20 days in the Bexar County Jail will be less time on GPS. And if I were to do GPS for the court, it's not going to be 40 days, it's going to be 60 days. So if you want to step back and discuss that with your attorney, if you decide to choose the option of Bexar County Jail, I will give you a short time to report, which would be next week would be your report date. So you all can step back and discuss that.
Yes, if I may inquire from the court, if we were to choose the GPS option, Judge, would the court allow my client to have it be partial so she's allowed to work?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so if you all step back and then let me know your decision.
You want me to reapproach?
Yes.
My client would like to choose the GPS option. I do have one other request from the court. So on top of, she works full-time at Taco Cabana. On top of that, she is twice per week. She donates plasma, same location. She goes every week. It is part of her income. She counts on that. So if the court would allow her to do that as well as her full-time job at Taco Cabana and then those 2 locations and home.
All right, so is she going to be able to afford GPS or no?
No, ma'am. That's why I would like if we could do it through work release, if the court can waive the fees that way.
All right. So you'll have to report then to the Bexar County Jail, and you can report the 24th or the 25th.
24th, sooner the better.
All right, 24th is a Monday, so you're able to report then?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we're back on the record. This is what the court will do. The court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 60 days. GPS, waive fees, and it'll be partial GPS for employment and plasma donation. There's to be no contact with HEB. And do you still have contact with the other co-defendant that's in this case?
That's my wife.
All right, State, how do you feel about her having contact with her spouse? Because it appears that you all still together.
What Sean told me, I believe that her and the co-defendant, the defendant and co-defendant live together and share children together. So it's my understanding.
Okay, and what the court will note for the record, it appears that the items that were taken were products that everyone needs to survive.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so no contact with HEB, and I'm not going to order the $500 fine. And the defendant is to report to the Bexar County Jail on February 24th, no later than 11 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Did you review the document entitled Trial Courts? I'm so sorry, I need to redo the sentence. The court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to the Bexar County Jail for 40 days, but the court will, I'm sorry, for 20 days, but the court will allow you to serve those 20 days on GPS for 60 days. And I just needed to put that in the record so that it's clear. Okay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And one other correction. So it's 20 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. So with regards to the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You know, I always tell people if there's an issue, there are places where you can go for free that will help you with things. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Judge.
much.
You're welcome. And if you'll make sure that there's nothing she needs from the clerks or the deputy
Yes, ma'am.
for when she turns herself
ma'am.
in. All right, Jennifer Flores, he's joining in
Oh,
by Zoom. All right, Norman, if you can call him,
Yes, ma'am.
because I think there may be an issue with his Zoom link.
Okay. Are you on Zoom already? You connecting? Yeah, Judge, think you might have. Okay. Okay. bye. He's trying to get in, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Judge.
Hello. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 9161 State of Texas versus Jennifer Flores. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Megan Galloway for the state.
defense?
Alfonso Otero on behalf of the defendant, Judge.
And are you Miss Flores?
Yes.
All right, I do not have I only have the first amended. Does anybody have the original motion to revoke? All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, Miss Flores, your attorney is actually appearing by Zoom. Do you have any objections to his appearing by Zoom? All right, you're gonna need to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear and so that I can hear. All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes.
And did you also review the First Amendment motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney?
Yes.
Are you the same Jennifer Ann Flores who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 9161 for the offense of possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 4 to 200 grams on January 26, 2023 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
Judge Wolf, he proceeding on the first amended, violation of condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Jennifer Ann Flores did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of December 2024 in violation of conviction.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
And state, do you waive the other allegations?
Yes.
Any objections to the state's waivers? Oh, I cannot hear you.
No, Judge.
All right. Ms. Flores, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yeah.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor, it's for the court to deny the state's motion.
Defense, is that what you're asking the court to do?
That is, Judge.
Probation,
Yes, Judge.
what is your recommendation?
Judge, status and remaining custody until treatment bed is available, Judge, and then aftercare. However, the new cases will need to be resolved.
All right, are the new cases going to be resolved?
They are.
All right. Ms. Flores, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jennifer Flores.
All right, Ms. Flores, you did not report. Why didn't you report?
I didn't report because they had arrested me. So I figured since I violated probation for getting arrested, I was gonna go to court on January 22nd, but I ended up getting arrested on January 22nd. So that's the only reason why I didn't report. I figured I had already MTR'd, so I was gonna go to court and then I knew I was gonna get arrested at court.
All right, so I'm going to give you options, right?
Okay.
I cannot give a lot of people options. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. If you want, what I can do is I will revoke you and I will sentence you to 4 years, or either I will continue you and follow the recommendation for you to be in inpatient treatment. What is the wait time? So your wait time to be placed for treatment is 2 to 6 weeks. So which do you prefer?
I can do the 3 years TDC.
No, 4 years TDC, or these are your two choices: 4 years TDC or I will follow everyone's agreement and recommendation for probation that you go into inpatient treatment. The wait time for inpatient treatment is 4 to 6 weeks. Now, this is what I can tell you. Regardless of what happens, whether you're waiting 4 to 6 weeks to go into treatment, or whether I sentence you to 4 years prison, time is going to pass. It just depends on what you want to do with that passage of time. Do you want your passage of time where you're just going to prison? Or do you want your passage of time to mean something more? You're getting clean and sober. And here's the thing, you know yourself better than I know you, better than your attorney knows you, or better than the state or probation. This is a choice you have to make for yourself. So whatever you want to do, I'm not going to look at you any differently. You know what I'm going to end up telling you? If you choose to go to prison, you know what I'm going to tell you? When you're released, if you can't find a place to help you maintain your sobriety, you come back here, I'll find a place for you. If you decide to take treatment, guess what I'm going to tell you? If anything happens, let probation know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can still come back here. So those are your two choices. There are no other choices on the table. There's no 3 years on the table. Okay. All right. The court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court will deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions, and these are to happen in custody. So there's to be a referral to felony drug court. And also, she's already been approved for SATF. All right. So in custody, there's a referral to felony drug court. If she is not accepted in the felony drug court, there's to be SATF, and there's also to be a TAP evaluation in custody. And let me see one other thing. And is there a need to extend her or no?
No, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. So off the record, this is what you're going to be waiting for. You're going to be in custody. Somebody's from probation is going to come visit you. They're going to give you a TAP evaluation. TAP evaluation is to figure out what your drug history is. Be honest, because you want to successfully complete this.
Yes.
Then the other evaluation you're going to wait for is felony drug court. Felony drug court is a great program. It's an intensive program, but they'll be able to help you.
Okay.
If you're not eligible or they deem you not suitable for their program, then it's going to be SATF. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Any questions about anything?
No, thank you. I do have a question. I'm
Sure.
sorry. I just lost my brother on January 29th while I was incarcerated. I just want to know, is there any way that they could help me at least attend the services?
You'll have to speak with probation concerning that.
Okay.
And you know what? Let felony drug court know that. All right. When is his services?
Oh, well, right now, they still have the body because he was murdered. So, his body's still being held at, so under investigation, I'm guessing, that's what my mom told me. But, so that's all I know right now, that his body's being held, so they haven't pursued yet with, dates.
Well, I will tell you what, if you will let probation know when it comes up, I'll see what I can do.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
No, have a seat. Get on this side.
All right, counsel, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Oh, no, he's here.
Oh, he's a. Oh, I thought it said he's in the back.
Thank you.
They did. Yeah, he's already back. Yeah.
If you get it right.
Yes.
This is an off docket matter.
Okay.
Mr. Jones has come to the court with some concerns. He's on GPS monitor
Mhm.
and he would like to see about getting his monitor times adjusted.
All right. So what times are you requesting?
Well, for right now, I have a newborn child.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's make sure we are giving them the best example that we can. All right.
So I was supposed to be at the hospital at, I didn't think I was gonna be here this long, but at 2:30,
Mhm.
I have to, the baby's ready to be discharged.
Okay.
And I have to be there. They don't want me to come in and out from the baby feeding this day, that day. They're gonna do it all in several hours.
All right. Any objections to him with the baby at the hospital?
No, Judge, I think there's just other stuff that might be, needs to be addressed, and I'll let him explain it.
Okay. So there's no objections to you being at the hospital. Are they still waiting to release the baby? Or have they already left?
No, I need that to do the baby feeding and the CPR class.
Oh, you got to do the CPR classes.
Yes,
You know, back in the day, they didn't give you what is it? CPR classes. They just said, good luck to you and your baby. All right.
I'm a full-time student at a South Texas Vocational Technical Institute.
Okay.
I go to school from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
8 a.m. to 1 p.m. That
And-
school.
I'm currently looking for a job.
All right, so 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. school. What days? Monday through Friday, okay? And then you have the baby hospital. So there's going to be no issues with you at the hospital, okay? And there's no issues with school. I think everybody wants you to better yourself. All right, so what's the other issue?
Maybe besides setting up appointments for the baby, looking for a job, there's nothing else really.
All right, so State, let me ask you, is this something maybe tracking with curfew?
Well, Judge, I think, I don't know if this was said, but my understanding is that the mother of the child is not present,
Mhm.
and that's a concern, because I don't know who's taking care of the child when she's not around and he's not around.
Okay,
So that's just a concern of the state, as well.
all right, who's taking care of the baby when you're not around? I'm sorry? Oh, isn't it always grandmothers being parents? All right, so he's saying his mom. Any other concerns?
Not necessarily, Judge. I, just to let the court know, I did email the school where he's taking, I believe, combination welding classes that
Mhm.
confirmed that he was attending from Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
That's what the coordinator said. The only concerns are just to make sure that the newborn child is taken care of. That's the other concern of the state.
All right, let me ask you this with regards to the newborn. So when you're not around and the mother is not around, you say that your mom is the person who takes care of the child? All right,
So
wait a minute, you're just about to say something important and the machine is printing. Okay, yes.
daycare services,
Okay.
if it's needed.
All right, please check into daycare services. Just don't take your baby to anybody's daycare. You know, people need to start investigating daycares when you're taking your child there. I always would tell clients that I would have, would you just go to a strange house, not knowing anybody, and you just are in there, or would you want to investigate what's going on? So make sure that you investigate the daycare, because your baby is not at the age, I believe, where they can talk and tell you what's going on, right? So investigate, just don't drop your child off someplace, okay?
Yes,
All righty, so is there an issue with tracking, or do y'all want to, what I can do is I can try out this schedule allowing him to go to work, go to school full-time, be with his child and see how that goes. And then maybe move towards tracking only.
Judge, yeah, I mean, the state's be okay with it. It seems like he at least is trying to excel and going to school and being a responsible father. The concern was that the mother wasn't, I guess, present or not able to be present because of the possibility of incarcerations. And so that was this concern of the state, and this was brought to my attention from probation.
All right, so let me ask you this. Have you had a chance to talk to his mom?
she said she apologized, she's not here, she's looking for parking. She didn't tell me.
Oh, she's driving around? Let me ask you, can she zoom in? Does she know how to zoom?
While driving.
Judge, and I did tell the state that, in regards to his concerns, there are, field visits that are already, a part of his condition terms
Mhm.
to where, our officers will be doing home visits.
Okay, and then what I can say, and as a part of the conditions that I added was that he's to reside with his mom. So you're residing with your mom?
Yes.
So, all right, then, do you want to do tracking only and then we can do an update?
That'd be fine.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do tracking only. What that means is, really, don't go wild, right? Just do your school, taking care of your child, looking for employment. Don't get sidetracked because it's easy to get off that path, okay?
Even before I got it put on Friday, I've been at home and trying to get enough trouble.
All right, well, I'm so proud that you're actually bettering yourself. Welding is a good profession. Don't burn yourself too much. Well, you know what they say? They say you're not a welder until you're burned. And then I knew an attorney who decided he was going to be a carpenter. He's a carpenter, but he lost a digit. And he said, people say you're not a carpenter until you've lost a digit. As people say, you're not an attorney till you've had a grievance filed against you. There's so many professions like that. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do tracking only. And does he have community service hours?
I do.
All right, so, Bashan,
Yes, Judge.
he has the community service hours, but I did put down, he completes parenting classes and his community service hours will be deemed satisfied. So do the CPR classes, do parenting classes, and then you won't have to do the community service hours. All right, so they'll be tracking only, and then we will recall this for, you all want to recall this in 30 days or 60 days to see how things are going?
Either. We'll report the report, Your Honor.
All right. Norma,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna recall this. It's 2023 CR 5280. We'll recall this. What's a good time for you to come down? What day of the week? Okay, so any day in the afternoon, we could set it at 2. Get out one. You want to do 2:30?
Yes.
All right, and then I understand if you're driving from school. So we can set at April 7th, 8th, or 10th. So that's Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. All right, you want,
I ain't got no sick day.
all right, so we'll do Tuesday then. No, usually that's our jury trial date. We'll do it Monday, the 7th, okay? And I'll put you down April 7th at 2 p.m. I'm saying 2 p.m., but I'll write on the docket sheet 2-ish because sometimes traffic is some kind of way. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you're doing well. Keep it up, okay? All right, thank you. Yes, Norma, can you give him a reset form and put 2-ish on there, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, is the interpreter here on Edgar Aguilar? All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 4709 State versus Edgar Aguilar. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Defense?
Megan Enriquez and John Coons for Edgar Aguilar.
And are you Edgar Aguilar?
Yes.
All right, we have an interpreter here. Could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Carmen Tarragona Sáenz.
All right, so we're here for sentencing today. The jury rendered their verdict. And in count 1, the jury found you not guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They did find you guilty of the lesser included offense of assault. In count 2, you were found guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And in count 3, you were found guilty of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. We are here today for sentencing. State, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Judge.
All right, do you all need to sit down for this or no?
No.
All right. All right, Lopez, please. All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Victor Lopez.
All right, state.
Mr. Lopez, are you a resident of Bear County?
Yes, I am.
How long have you lived in Bear County?
About 34 years. Yes,
What type of line of work do you do?
I do HVAC and maintenance.
And I know you know that you're here regarding an incident found.
Yes.
Do you recall what you were doing that day?
We're coming from the main office that I used to work for, going to another apartment to go work already. Yeah, my friend Augustine, he was my coworker and we became friends.
And what kind of car were you driving?
We're driving a black Explorer.
Okay, and do you recall what highway you were traveling on?
We're going 410.
And what direction were you going? Towards the airport or the office?
Towards the airport. We're going towards the airport.
Okay. You were driving, because there was a vehicle acting out of the ordinary.
Yes, I was on the far right lane and on the access road to come into the highway. I noticed it. The reason I noticed is because Augustine says, he told me, what's wrong with this truck? I looked and this truck was trying to hit us, trying to get me off the road.
Do you recall what the truck looked like?
Yes, it was a Dodge Ram, beige.
Okay. And when this is occurring, were you able to observe the driver?
Yes, he looked at me, we looked at each other, and he was throwing up his hands and like cussing me out, and I was like, I don't even know the guy, but he was like, at the same time, he was swerving his truck towards me, and I kept on trying to miss. Every time he would swerve towards me, I would try to, not let him hit me. So, yeah, eventually he pushed me all the way to the far left lane. It was the right lane, so it was the third lane. And when he pushed me to the third lane, he actually clipped me. He really hit me, and then that's when I slowed down. And I was surprised, like, man, what's going on? So when I slowed down, he actually slowed down in front of us, and he slammed his brakes. I slammed my brakes, and then he started reversing towards us like really fast. So I recall in the middle of the highway, traffic going the opposite way, and we're going reverse. And he's chasing me, and I'm in a Ford Explorer. And of course, the Dodge Ram is faster, so he caught up to us. He hit me. When he hit me, he got me caught with another car behind me. And, he had me there, trapped.
Did you get to see who was driving the car behind you?
Yes, it was a family. It was a guy with his wife and his 3 kids. They were behind me, and you know, he had us there. So yeah.
Just a moment. Excuse me, officer. Yes. Check shirt. No, not you, the person in front of you. Yeah, come around this way. Just one moment. All right, I'm sorry about that. You may continue.
And so were you able to observe who was driving with the car behind you?
Yes, it was a gentleman with his family, with his wife and his 3 kids.
And when the gold truck reversed into you, could you hear or see anything? in the
Yeah,
vehicle?
he had his pen there for it felt like forever. But I can hear the tires and see the smoke from his tires. Just, he had his trap there and he kept on going and going and going. So I really felt like, man, he's trying to kill us, so.
And at this point, did something occur with your seatbelt?
Yeah, my seatbelt got stuck. I couldn't get out. We had a weapon. It was a gun. We showed the cops and everything. It wasn't loaded. We were trying to scare him off, but I couldn't get off because my seatbelt got stuck. So I told my coworker, hey, get off, try to scare him off. And my coworker got off, went to his side and pointed the weapon at him. Told him, hey man, you need to stop. He got off. He says, shoot me, shoot me. So he grabs a vacuum pump. The vacuum pump is it's a tool that you use for HVAC. It's about 45 to 55 pounds. He grabbed it and he threw it on my windshield. My windshield busted. So when he threw it on my windshield, I recall running from it because I don't want him to hit me with it because it's pretty heavy. He ran and picked it up and threw it on my coworker, and it landed on my coworker's legs.
And what effect, if any, has this incident had on you?
Oh, my life's changed. I mean, every time I drive or my mother's driving or my wife is driving, any car gets close to us, I just sense to like jump and, like even my wife gets upset, like, man, I'm driving right. Like, it's just in me that I jump. Like, it's just, I guess she goes, you got PTSD off of that now. So, I mean, that's something that's changed when I'm on the highway. I'm driving like an old man now, and then people honk the horn at me. I just leave them alone now. Like,
So I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States Exhibits P1 through 3 inclusive. Have you reviewed these photos before?
yes,
Okay, and are they a fair and accurate depiction of how things look on the date of the offense?
correct.
And States Exhibit P1, can you describe what is depicted in?
That's me and Augustine and the truck we were driving.
Okay. And in States Exhibit P2?
It's the windshield where you can see on the windshield on the left bottom side where he threw the vacuum pump at us.
And States Exhibit P3?
P3, you can tell, like, even when he was throwing, like trying to hit me, you can see the car in front of us. It's another car that actually clipped me, trying not to hit us while he was, we were going through that.
I'm tendering to defense for inspection, but state offers States Exhibits P1 through P3.
No objection, Judge.
All right, states exhibits P1, P2, and P3 are admitted without objection. All right, any questions?
Very briefly,
When your coworker, Agustin, pulled the weapon on Mr. Aguilar, you said he was saying, shoot me to him.
Mr. Aguilar was saying, shoot me, yes.
Did it appear that he was trying to die by suicide?
Objection.
No, it didn't appear to me because I don't think he was trying to kill himself. I think he was trying to kill other people. That's the way I felt.
Because he didn't have, did he have a gun or a knife or anything like that on him? Did you ever see Mr. Aguilar?
He was reaching for, I feel like he was reaching for things to hurt us with, because he tried to hurt us with his vehicle. You know, after that, he got out. When he got out, he went into his truck grabbing stuff. So my coworker had to get on top of his truck and try to stop him from getting stuff from his truck.
And when the gun was pointed at him, he said, shoot me.
Yes, he did.
Nothing further.
All right, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
State. All right, defense, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, just our client.
All right, Mr. Aguilar, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Edgar Aguilar Hernandez.
Edgar Aguilar Hernandez.
All right, defense.
Mr. Aguilar, were you in your right mind on March 16th of 2023?
No.
No,
Do you recall any of the events that happened on March 16th of 2022?
No recordaba todo lo que pasó.
But because I wasn't aware, I didn't remember everything that happened.
Porque también tengo familia y no quisiera que pasara, que le hicieran algo intencional a mi familia.
Because I also have a family and I wouldn't want someone to do intentionally to my family.
Por eso es que llevé esto a trial, no por,
That's why I took this to trial,
no porque sea así.
not because I'm cynical.
No further questions.
State any questions?
Mr. Aguilar, you've been arrested for possession of a controlled substance in Austin, Texas.
Por una cerveza.
Ah.
Sí, sí, una botella de cerveza.
Yes, over a beer, yes, a bottle of beer.
And do you recall when you were in custody in the Bear County Jail, you met, with a doctor to evaluate your?
¿En San Antonio?
In San Antonio?
Yes,
Sí.
Yes,
okay. And do you recall reporting to that doctor that you had been, doing methamphetamine for at least a year prior to being arrested?
Sí.
yes.
Okay. And so when you were arrested, Dr. horrifying, and then the punishment witness that we brought in today, Victor, also found it horrifying. So much to the fact that Brittany, Raquel, and Fatima, I mean, Your Honor, I would ask you to take judicial notice of the evidence that was presented in the trial. But the court was able to observe their demeanor when they came in here, and they're still very much in fear over what happened on that day. And Mr. Lopez, who testified today, testified that he believed that the defendant was trying to kill him on that day. And so that's why we don't.
All right. And then with regards to the lesser included offense,